Hello everyone, this is Matthew Yu. In today's special video, we are going to talk about cloud computing basics. We are going to use video games as references to give you an idea about what cloud computing is. Of course, starting with concepts is a good way to master these skills eventually. There are other good ways to learn cloud computing. You can start with challenges such as doing webinar, Udemy, labs, quizzes, and even hands-on. The goal and the purpose of this video is to give you an interesting start with some basic concepts. And here, I do not represent any cloud providers. Alright, let's get started. Let's first talk about what cloud computing is. In the classic textbook, they will tell you the cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Alright, let's take a look at what actual cloud computing is. It is a summoning type magic of astral construct over the Carol network with mana consumption. Let's first take a look at magic. It is different from the physical world. In the physical world, we need to actually build a server and plug the physical machine in our office, and it will have a direct impact in our physical world. In the virtual world, you can also call that inner world or upside down or metaverse. On the other hand, you use your keyboard and mouse to change the virtual world. It only has indirect impact to our physical world. We always use some screen to observe what has happened inside. Now, let's take a look at summoning. Summoning is a very important concept. It calls astral construct from astrology into our virtual world. Because it is summoning, the summoner do not need to build those constructs. And there are astral spirits that build those constructs for you. There are several advantages because of summoning. Number one, high variety. You have the access to the entire card library. You can cast whatever you like and however you want to combine them. Second, fit into your capacity. Because you have the full control to the amount of resources that you can cast and summon, you don't need to worry about too many idle units or too little not meeting your demand. You can simply send them back or cast more. Number 3. Go global fast. You can cast to wherever the region that allows you to do with a simple click. You can summon the construct close to you, or you can put them closer to your end users, so you can access it faster. Or you can put them closer to your end users, so they can access it faster. Number 4. Low casting time. And it's getting faster and faster. For example, if I want to build a virtual Windows desktop in AWS, it now takes less than 1 minute to construct the machine and another 2 minutes for me to log in with the default admin password. After magic, let's take a look at astrology. The big three contribute to most of the constructs, and they also provide a starter pack for everyone to get into this area. The first is AWS, Amazon Web Services. Second is Microsoft Azure. And here, Azure is blue as in the blue sky, and that's how it refers to the cloud. The third one, GCP, Google Cloud Computing. In short, Google is good at its technology advantages and their algorithms. Azure is good at distribution and its combo with Office 365. AWS is everything and everywhere. There are also other spirits such as IBM Cloud and Ali Cloud. A so-called fighting club, Gartner, they host competitions and post results on their website. Here is the latest season result, and the more towards the top right, the higher the score is. And you can use this to check each of their power level. Now there's a question, say, alright, can I learn and leverage all three of them so I can take advantages of what they are good at? My suggestion is this is doable, but be careful because you cannot control all the constructs together. This is like you are holding a lightsaber from Star Wars in your right hand and waving a magical wand from Harry Potter in your left hand. The security, network, billing, there are so many technical and non-technical things you need to configure and handle. And sometimes they may not play well together. So, are you ready to control and shepherd that many constructs? If not, is nothing bad about it. Starting with one and only one provider should be able to fulfill almost all of your requirements, and you will be building a better focused long-term relationship and enjoy a better discount. And later, you can increase your technical portfolio and go multi-cloud. Then you will have more experience and benchmark to compare. Now let's take a look at mana. All of the summoning have a price to pay, and it consumes mana over time. Whenever you cast and summon the construct from astrology to your virtual world, the construct starts to draw and consume mana. In the physical world, the solid form of mana is called US dollar, and it is a quantitative measure to your mana consumption. At the official websites of the cloud providers, you will also find its pricing page for each of the cloud resources, and there are also budget calculators to easily export for your monthly and your yearly cost. Because we already know the mechanism of the summoning, we can utilize this the most efficient way to save mana consumption. For example, if you find out you do not need a resource, you definitely have the ability to shut it down or send it back, which will stop your mana consumption. Another example to utilize the mechanism is distributed computing. If you are going to complete a task that requires 1,000 hours of computing power, you can have one computer that calculates the task for 1,000 hours. Instead, you can have 1,000 computers to work together to complete the task in 1 hour. At the end, your total consumption and the bill will be the same. Let's talk about Carol Network. Carol Network is a communication network in the video game Death Stranding. You only need to know it is a network between us and astrology. It is a channel that brings the construct out into our virtual world. Of course, you might call the internet in the physical world. The most important concepts in this topic are regions and availability zones. Let's take a look at the traditional concepts of region and availability zone. Region is a separate geographic area, and availability zone are multiple isolated locations within each region. Let's say in a video game, each region represents a world map, and we can click each of the nodes in this big world map to fast travel there. Whenever you click these fast travel points, your characters warp into that location. Then the connection is built between you and that game world. The same thing as in cloud computing, where you can select each region and availability zone to deploy your resources. This is heavily tested in exams. Always remember, region is at a higher hierarchy level and availability zones are lower. The same concept applies for all of the cloud providers. A huge natural disaster can cause an entire region to go down, so another region can go up as a backup. Additionally, you want to deploy your services close to your end users, wherever they are on Earth, so they can enjoy less latency and have a better user experience. That's all for the concepts today. Now let's take a look at a few questions. Question 1. Which of the following anime shares the core of cloud computing mechanism? Choice A, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Choice B, Pokemon. Choice C, Cells at Work. Choice D, Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's take a look at each of the choice number. Choice A, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. In this animation, the core summoning logic is one user can summon one and only one stand to battle each other. The stand ability is limited by the summoner him or herself. This logic does not apply to cloud computing because in cloud computing, there is no limitation on how many you can summon, and you can summon the constructs as powerful as you can afford. So we will take this choice out. Choice B, Pokemon. At first, this looks right, but it is not, because in this game and anime, it is a rule that one trainer can only have 6 Pokemon at one time, except for Pokemon Go. This, again, is not the cloud computing mechanism, because you can sharper, train, and summon as many as resources as you want. there is no limitations, so we will eliminate this one. Choice number 3, sales at work. Whoever's like this, you must be a boss. The core behind the scene is the cells inside our body works 24/7 to keep us safe from the virus and diseases. You must want us to also work 24/7. But also, the choice fits into the cloud computing mechanism because it is always and always available and online 24/7. So this choice is a good one. Choice D, Yu-Gi-Oh! The core of the animation is right, but remember, in the traditional card game, your activities are limited by the cards in your hand. You can only play your hand. But in the cloud computing, the whole deck is available to you, and you can draw as many cards as you wish at any time. So this one is not entirely correct. So the correct choice is C. Let's move on to question 2. Which of the following is close to cloud computing service model? A. Perpetual license. B. DLC. C. Loot box. D. Freemium plus gifts. E. Arcade. Let's go through each choices. Choice A. Perpetual license. Like you buy a game from GameStop or Steam Summer Sale. No, cloud providers do not offer it. It is not one and done. Cloud computing is always upgrading themselves, and today you are using generation 2, and tomorrow you might be using generation 4 already. And all of the hardware upgrades are deployed from the cloud provider end, and you don't need to pay extra. So this is a wrong answer. Choice B, DLC, downloadable content. That is what you pay after you get the core service. It is also not right, but maybe in some cases it might be. For example, in AWS EC2, you could pay additional fee for detailed monitoring so you can get more log information. But majority, they don't charge DLCs or offer season pass for new content. Even if they do, it is usually free, so they provide you with additional capability and value-added services. Choice C, loot box. This will make our life way funnier here. We could just open loot boxes every day. If we get a glue quality virtual machine, we can deploy a Windows Remote desktop. And if we get an epic quality of search database, we can go into the non-SQL database regions. This will make our life so fun. No, this is also not the right answer. Choice D, freemium plus skin. For the first half, I can give a correct, because most of the providers, they offer some credit or free tier for you to try out their services. It is a marketing promotion mechanism to get you buy-in. But for skins, no, they never offer it. I do wish they have different themes, such as Christmas theme or Valentine's Day themes, but no, they never offer that. So this choice is also wrong. Choice E, arcade. This is right because it shares the core service model, which is pay per use. The slight differences you need to know is in the arcade game, you are pre-paying, but in the cloud computing, it is always post-paying. You will receive a bill which is at the end of your billing period, and it detailed your usage. So for this question, the answer is choice E. Question 3. In a typical video game, which class is most similar to a cloud solutions architect? A. Tank. B. Healer. C. Mage. D. Summoner. We already know the answer is D because it is summoning. Let's take a look at others and see what they are. Choice A. Tank. The core of the team. This is usually the leader of the team. It is one class that rushes to the front line, provides support and guidance to the entire team, so the backend classes such as DPS, delivery per sprint, can utilize their full potential. B. Healer. This is usually refers to product or project managers. They are the ones also working behind the scene that plans, restores, and obtains funding for the team so they have more fields to burn. C. Mage. This is a traditional programmer. They use their own power to cast magic instead of summoning. The higher power means they have a better algorithm and documentations. In the real world, cloud architects and cloud engineers are always working together. The cloud architects design and sum the resource, and the engineer program and motivates the resource to utilize this strong power. Of course, everyone plays an important role in the team, as all the classes and characters play in a video game. That's all for today. I hope this video is inspiring, and I will look forward to reading your comments and feedbacks below.